What's up though everybody, I'm Hollywood Street Savage aka Mr. Total Plastic, and I'm hella excited today because I'm about to bring you guys the very first episode of my Hollywood Street Stories, where I'm going to be sharing local homegrown stories from my neighborhood, my city, Pontiac, Michigan. Most of the stories made national headlines, so it's going to be real dope, very interesting. You don't want to miss any of the new content I got on the way. If you haven't already, make sure you go smash that subscription button and let me know what y'all think of the video in the comment section below. I ain't gonna hold y'all no more, so let's just get straight into the business.
I live what I'm rapping, them boys don't. We in different categories. We got girl, dog, guns, and bands. You could check the inventory. This a off-brand clip, but fuck it though. 31 rounds in the 40. Rican street nigga at adobo season. I'm eating, what's up, buddy? On the run from to an island, that's the U.S. territory. Prison ain't scary at all, my baby. It's just really boring. Get money or get nothing. You know that shit mandatory. This my life, this what I live. These my Hollywood Street stories.
On the morning of December 3rd, 2010, at an old General Motors industrial building in southwest Detroit that had been vacant for years, an arson investigator was following up on a case of arson involving a minivan that had been set on fire the night before when he made the gruesome discovery of a woman's severely burned body inside the backseat of the vehicle. What's even more shocking is how firefighters didn't notice the body around 8 p.m. the previous night when they responded to the abandoned site on Livernois near Fort Street to put out the flames that engulfed the minivan and the roof of the rundown building. It wasn't until that morning that the body was discovered in a darkened loading area by the arson investigator doing a routine follow-up, which prompted the call to homicide. A specially trained dog with the fire department detected the use of accelerants. There was no license plate on the minivan, but the vehicle identification number was still visible on the charred vehicle. With little evidence to go on, detectives hoped the VIN number would help them identify their victim and lead them to more clues. Over the next few days, the case would take an unexpected turn when a man contacted a Pontiac police officer sharing concerns that his nephew, Jordan Gonzalez, may be in trouble with police and members of a gang called Su 13. The uncle, wearing a wire that transmitted his conversation to police, received from Gonzalez items of evidence, including the victim's purse and a bloodied piece of carpet cut out from the basement of a Pontiac home. He would break the case wide open by revealing the chilling details of a horrific crime allegedly committed by his nephew just days ago. On December 2nd, 2010, Yeimi Moreno visited a house in Pontiac on 4th Avenue where Gonzalez had been living. It's alleged that sometime during the visit, Moreno answered her phone and went into the bathroom, at which point Gonzalez overheard her tell someone that the back door is open and that she had Gonzalez in the basement. After she came out of the bathroom, she began to perform oral sex on Gonzalez and put a knife up to his penis. Gonzalez panicked. Believing she was going to cut off his penis, he shot her multiple times in the back of the head. Moreno's body was then loaded into the minivan she had been driving. Gonzalez allegedly drove her lifeless body about 35 miles south to an abandoned auto factory on Livernois near Fort Street, just south of Interstate 75 in southwest Detroit, and doused the van with the flammable liquid before torching it. Jordan Gonzalez was arrested and charged with first-degree premeditated murder and using a firearm to commit a felony. He was lodged into the Oakland County Jail. The homicide investigation will be turned over to Pontiac homicide detectives because although Moreno's body was discovered in Detroit, she was killed in Pontiac. Police now had a name for their victim, as autopsy reports would later confirm the badly burned body to be Yeimi Moreno. Yeimi Moreno was born May 31st, 1991 and came to the U.S. from Guerrero, Mexico in search of a better life. She worked as a waitress at Toby Keith's restaurant in Great Lakes Crossing Mall. Her friends would describe her as being smart, funny, pretty, and outgoing. She had known Gonzalez less than a week at the time of her death. She was 19 years old. Wearing shackles, jail attire, and the apparent burn marks on his face from the van set ablaze, the suspect Jordan Gonzalez, just 18 years old at the time of the shooting, was a roofer from Pontiac, Michigan who left high school in the 10th grade and would go on to earn his GED. He also had an extensive juvenile history. After being denied bond and given no details as to a motive, Pontiac detective Steve Whittabort stepped up to the bench of the 50th District Court and told Judge Michael Martinez under oath that Gonzalez unloaded 3 shots into the back of Moreno's head at a home he had been staying at since October of that year. Whittabort proceeded to explain the gruesome events of December 2nd and how it wasn't until the morning of December 3rd that investigators discovered her remains. An official with the Oakland County Pretrial Services testified to a lengthy list of medications Gonzalez was reported to have been on or have taken, that he was placed on suicide watch, and admitted to being hospitalized for hearing voices 2 weeks prior to the killing. Whittabort said the case was the most brutal he had ever seen and added that there is more to it than just a simple beef between gang members. It was such a heinous act, he said. A young man with the name Yeimi tattooed on his neck sat in the courtroom gallery staring at Gonzalez, sometimes clenching his fist. He was with a group of people believed to be members of Moreno's family. According to police, a common thread between Moreno and Gonzalez is their suspected membership in different factions of the Sur 13 street gang. Sur 13, also known as the Sureños, has different factions across the United States with roots back to California. A Sur 13 cell has also been the target of a joint gang task force involving agencies in Oakland County and the FBI. FBI spokeswoman Sandra Birchtold said Sur 13 is a Latino national group with documented presence in Pontiac. When trial came around, an Oakland Circuit courtroom was packed with supporters of the young woman that was killed. More details surrounding that tragic night would be exposed as alleged gang member Jordan Gonzalez described a dark lifestyle that left him constantly watching his back. "I regret being in a position to take a life. It wasn't malicious," Gonzalez said about the December shooting. "It was survival." On July 19, 2011, Jordan Gonzalez was sentenced to life in prison without parole after being convicted the previous month of first-degree premeditated murder. The defense argued that Gonzalez believed Moreno was setting him up to be killed by angry gang members and acted in self-defense. Kumar gave him the penalty that's mandatory for a conviction of first-degree premeditated murder in the state of Michigan. After Gonzalez spoke in court, Oakland Circuit Judge Shalina Kumar told him that his actions were inexcusable and ruined many lives. She said she couldn't understand how Gonzalez, who told a police detective that he had never seen a dead body before, could reach a point of being able to shoot somebody. "She didn't have a gun to your head," Kumar said, referring to Moreno. "I don't care if she had a knife. A gun beats a knife in every fight." Wearing glasses and shackles as he stood in a jury box, Gonzalez said he acknowledges what he did and accepts the consequences. He apologized to his family and to Moreno's family. "I'm sorry for your loss at my hands," he said. "I pray someday you find it in your heart to forgive me." Oakland County Assistant Prosecutor Rob Noby read a statement on behalf of Moreno's mother. "It is my hope that one day you repent for what you did. What you did is unforgivable," the statement said. "You destroyed my family." Gonzalez said in an interview that he shot Moreno in the chest, but at trial, Ruben Ortiz Reyes, a deputy medical examiner for Oakland County who performed the autopsy, said he found 3 gunshot wounds on the back of her neck, one of which pierced through her spinal cord and would have killed her instantly, he said. He also stated that Moreno was not alive at the time of the fire and that DNA was used to positively identify her body. Noby presented evidence in the trial that included text messages Gonzalez sent out before the shooting. One said, "I'm about to shoot this bitch." He also flashed a large image of Gonzalez that showed burns all over his face. Defense attorney Mitchell Ribertor told jurors that Gonzalez first joined the Sur 13 street gang at age 12 and eventually decided to drop out of the gang, a decision that left him fearing for his life. Moreno was also reported to have ties to the gang. Ribertor said that Gonzalez believed Moreno was setting him up to be killed and panicked. Following the hearing, Gonzalez's family and Moreno's friends and family gathered on opposite ends of the hallway outside the courtroom. Some people cried. "She did not deserve that at all," said a friend of Moreno's who spoke with tears in her eyes. "She was the nicest person in the world."
Free at last, hit the ground running, not to hurt to the